Hello, my name is mdcarbo2. I'm going to show you my assignment 5. Here you can see that I am working out of an empty folder. I'm first going to clone the repo and go into a build. While the build is going, I will show you my repo. There's all the commits. Let's go to actions. See the actions I've run. Last one 19 minutes ago. And we're working off a main. Okay, build successful. Here are the 4 files for reports that I will pull up. Test summary 100%. All the classes I'm testing. The Jacoco report is showing 94% coverage. Check style violations 37. These really mostly come from me having lines that are too long. And the spot bugs report, which is 0. And we'll go into how it works. So I've chosen observer and factory. So the patients and doctors come from humans, which are my people. The patient factory, this is an implementation of patient factory. I give them a bunch of random names. They're instantiated with a random status, a random priority, and a random name. And doctors are instantiated the same way. The interface for observer and subject for add remover and notify, which is important. So I'll show you how those work together. Here is the actual simulation. So if we jump into the constructor here, I am starting the simulation as random as possible. So I'm getting between 3 and 5 doctors to start. I call the doctor through the factory. I then assign the simulation as an observer to the doctor and then add the doctor to the simulation. I do the very same thing with patients where I start with between 5 and 10. I use the factory to create a patient, and for every doctor that exists, they are added as an observer to the patients. So every doctor can get notified if they need to for every patient. So jump down into the simulation. Starts out with some UI stuff, printing a table. This is the first iteration where we assign all the patients to doctors, and then when we jump in, 24 hours, some UI stuff, print the header, more UI stuff. Throughout the simulation, patients can be added, so I'm going to recall assign doctors to patients. This method call is what I use for doctors to treat all the patients. There's a add random patient method and a patient ID method. When I jump down here, this is the observer class notifying the simulation, which I renamed to the hospital. Print out the table. So let's see what that looks like. It's going to print a header. Here's our initial starting condition, 3 and 8. So we can see that it prints the time and the iteration. Here are the changes. The purple messages are observer calls to the hospital, and yellow are observer calls to the doctor. And these are coupled by, in this case, this patient and their doctor. So we can also see an update here, active patients, total patients treated, how many doctors we have, and the average patient wait time. The table is sorted by descending priority, so high, medium, low, buried, or discharged. And as the simulation goes, all of these update, and we can see that people are dying, people are being discharged, conditions are changing. This is a new person, they're going to get assigned a doctor, and we're going to go through all the way to the very last one where we treated 32 patients. There's 6 active patients at the moment. This guy hasn't been assigned a doctor yet. These are all the conditions. All of these guys are no longer being treated because they're dead or healthy. And that is the end of the simulation.